has been committed, then this phenomenon is one transaction. This phenomenon is called one transaction because the value from the secondary memory has been written to the value from the primary memory has been written to the secondary memory, and the commit signal has been sent to the processor. This change is permanent, and now this is called one transaction. Now suppose anyhow this commit signal could not be sent to the processor. Here another process takes place. That is the process of recovery. This is another chapter, another recovery that we have to study. Recovery process takes place. Why so? Because the commit signal could not reach to processor. Processor is unaware of the fact whether the value has been changed or not. So after passage of certain time period, processor recovers the older value. Means here the process of recovery starts. From where this value processor would get? There is a log file in which every activity, every data is written. So the previous value of salary is also written here, and when this value has been changed to 7,000, this is also written. So processor would recover this value from the log file, and it would be made as 5,000, 120 RAM and 5,000. This value has been recovered from the secondary memory, and we say no transaction has taken place. So we would understand now with an example of concurrency. Say this is one terminal where one transaction is current, read staff salary, is modified as such, right? Staff salary. This is one transaction because the value staff salary has been read from the secondary memory database by the operation read. Now here modification has been made. The write operation indicates that the change has been made in secondary memory and the commit signal has been sent to the processor. This is one transaction. Say this is T1. Now there is another transaction, read faculty salary equal to F2. F1 and F2 are certain formula. Faculty salary, write faculty salary. This is another transaction T2. And these two are working on two standalone computers. This is not concurrency. These two transactions are happening on two standalone different computers. Now these two operations has to be carried on one computer in concurrent manner. How this would happen? There is one possibility that we can write here, read staff salary. This is T1 and this is T2. Read faculty salary. Then faculty salary equal to F2 faculty salary, right, faculty salary, staff salary equal to F1 staff salary, right, staff salary. So these two transactions are running concurrently. So what would happen? First, this statement would be read, then processor would read this statement, executing this one. The next statement that would be executed would be faculty salary equal to F2 faculty salary. Then the data would be written in secondary memory. Then processor again reads the statements of transaction T1, staff salary equal to F1 staff salary, right, staff salary. So these two transactions are running concurrently, and we can write it as read staff salary, then read faculty salary, faculty salary equal to F2 faculty salary, right, faculty salary, then staff salary, equal to F1 staff salary, and right staff salary. So this would be the order of execution of statements. This order of execution of statements, this is the timeline. So time passes as the statements are read. This order of execution is called schedule. What is it called? Schedule. So what is schedule? The order of execution of various statements of different transactions simultaneously, concurrently, is called schedule. Actually what happens? For the processor, suppose this is processor and two statements are simultaneously arriving, say T1 and T2, simultaneously. Both reach to the processor at the same time. But what would happen? Suppose both reaches to processor at 8. So which transaction would be processed first? Actually, the processor can execute one statement at a time, always. So there would be a little bit difference of timing in nanosecond, in microsecond. Suppose this might be reaching at 1.01.001 second, and this would be reaching at 8.01.002 seconds. So there will be a little bit difference of timing reaching to the processor. So processor executes one statement at a time. Okay. So this order of execution of different statements of concurrent transactions is called schedule. And there cannot be only one schedule. There might be number of schedules. Say, we could have also written it here as staff salary equal to F1 staff salary, and then here it could have been read faculty salary. So there might be example, number of schedules for 2 or more transactions. Now, how many schedules there might be? So if there are n number of transactions run concurrently, we might have factorial of n number of transactions. Say if 2, 3, 4, 5. So say 4 transactions are running concurrently, means there might be factorial of 4 number of schedules. Now the question arises,